Want to bring in former White House Deputy Chief of Staff and Fox News contributor Karl Rove. Karl, President Trump gave an interview to the Wall Street Journal about the Bolton book. I want to read you one quote from it in which the president says, "The only thing I liked about Bolton was that everybody thought he was crazy. When you walk into the room with him, you're in a good negotiating position because they figure you're going to war." If John Bolton was there. Karl, I wonder why these two men wanted to work together in the first place.
Good question. If they felt as deeply about each other as it appears that they have from their post-book comments, then you wonder why one of them hired the other and why the other one stayed as long as he did. Look, though, let's step back for a minute. The biggest impact of this book is going to be that it's going to chew up time that I'm confident the president and his people would rather be spending on something else. I don't think it's going to change a lot of minds. If you like Trump, you're going to believe that the book is a bunch of hooey, and you're going to be for Trump. If you hated Trump, you're going to say to yourself, as a reporter that you just had on put it so well, if you're a Democrat, why didn't you say this earlier? So at the end of the day, historians have to deal with the question of how do we know that? And it's only going to be sort of the preponderance of evidence that we get from years in the future from people's contemporaneous notes that are in the president's archives or from other people coming forward and speaking out, either agreeing or disagreeing with John, that we're going to know whether or not these kind of allegations were true. Just for an example, Jim Lighthizer was under oath yesterday in front of a House committee and was asked about this incident that you just had on the screen about the meeting with the Chinese leader, and said, I was there and nothing like that happened. So we already got a he said kind of thing. But it's not helpful to the president, chews up valuable times, reinforces the sentiments of people who are against him, and raises questions like the one you raised, which is, what the heck were these two guys doing in the same room?
Do you think that if John Bolton had testified, or if the book had come out in January before impeachment, and everything that is in John Bolton's book had been out in the public, do you think that any of the Republicans would have voted differently in impeachment?
Well, I doubt it. But again, in fairness, I've only read the excerpt that had been in the paper. I haven't read the book themselves. But it's like, are we going to go back and examine every time that a president has maybe talked with a foreign leader about his election, about his re-election, and is that going to be a standard for impeachment? I'm not certain that's a good standard to apply.
Yeah. Well, and I'm listening to The Splendid and the Vile by Eric Larson, and they're still arguing about Winston Churchill. So these things go on and are debated well into the future. Karl Rove, thank you.
You bet. And that is one darn good book. We had a bunch of people out to the, 4 people out to the ranch last weekend, and we were all reading the same book. It's terrific. Really good.
I love it. We have similar taste. All right. Thank you, Karl.